That down, let's move on to this. You know, one of my favorite TV viewing experiences this year has been watching Star Wars Skeleton Crew. And oh my God, did they need that win? Because Star Wars has not exactly been delivering the goods when it comes to Disney Plus. Yeah, a few good hits, like with Mandalorian. Andor was fantastic and everything. But in the midst of all that, you got Book of Boba Fett, you got Obi-Wan, you got Ahsoka. I mean, it's just a lot of crap too. And I thought Star Wars Skeleton Crew was delightful and charming and wonderful in so many great ways. Now, the question is going to become, are they going to get a season 2? Because as expected, and everybody expected this, the debut numbers for Skeleton Crew were pretty low. Thanks a lot, Acolyte. But the debut numbers for Skeleton Crew were pretty low. Now, the question is going to become, as we wait over the next coming weeks as further viewership data comes out, did the viewership go up, which we heard it did, but we haven't seen the numbers, or does it stay pretty low, pretty much taking out any chances for a season 2? Well, the showrunner for Skeleton Crew, John Watts, who, by the way, directed the 3 Tom Holland Spider-Man movies and Wolves with Brad Pitt and George Clooney. He's terrific. He just did an interview with TV Line, and he said they've already got the second season planned out. This comes to us from Geek Tyrant, who wrote this. They recently teased their plans for season 2 in an interview with TV Line, with Watts saying, "We know exactly what we would want the show, what we would want to show. We have figured all of that out. With the secret planet of At Aden no longer a secret, and the supervisor having been destroyed by Jod Nawood, its residents will be forced to shed themselves of the isolationism that had been dictating their entire lives for generations. As Ford explained, what's so fun about it is At Aden has lost its protective nest, its childhood. The planet gets to be an awkward teenager. On their adventure, Wim, Fern, KB, and Neil learn about the wider Star Wars galaxy, and now their parents will have to go through the shock of learning about what life is like outside of At Aden." Watts added, "The parents now have to grow up, which is an interesting wrinkle to the concept we explored in the first season." All right. So the finale of Skeleton Crew left me very much with, where's season 2? Because now what happens next? Here's my argument against doing a season 2, though. The whole premise of the show was this amazing callback to 80s Amblin Entertainment, you know, Goonies in the Star Wars universe, the kids' adventure, all that kind of stuff. If they were to go in season 2, and I'm not saying I don't want it, I'm just saying, if they were to do a season 2, it sounds like all that's in the rearview mirror now. Now it's about the planet. It's about At Aden. It's about the families. It's about the parents. It's about where does this fit in the overall Star Wars galaxy now? And to me, that's kind of not what season 1 was. Season 1 was just really focused on these kids and that Goonies-like adventure. And now that that adventure is done, can you recapture that magic? Now, look, I'm never going to count out John Watts. If he thinks he has an idea that he's excited about and he thinks will work, guess what? Everything he's done so far has worked. So if he thinks he's got an idea that'll work, I'll definitely get on board with it and give it the benefit of the doubt. Guys, we want to take a second and thank a sponsor of today's video, Hungryroot. You know, grocery shopping used to be one of the biggest struggles. Between your busy schedule and wanting to eat healthier, it just feels impossible to stay on top of everything. But all that changes when you discover Hungryroot, the easiest way to eat healthy without the hassles. Hungryroot is like having your own personal grocery shopper. They take care of the weekly shopping for you, recommending healthy, high-quality groceries tailored to your tastes, nutritional preferences, and even health goals. They've got it all: smoothies, snacks for the kids, ready-to-eat meals, and even supplements. For me, Hungryroot is absolutely a game changer, guys. My health goals have become so much easier to stick to. I love how they personalize my cart every week and even get smart about my preferences as I go. It's honestly stress-free and so simple. You're gonna love Hungryroot as much as I do. Take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/Campea and use the code Campea. That's hungryroot.com/Campea, using the code Campea to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/Campea, code Campea. But Chris, I have to admit, as much as I loved Skeleton Crew, part of me wonders if it's good enough to say season 1 was it, It was a limited series. It's a wonderful story, but the story's over. I don't know. How do you feel about it? And what do you think about what he said about the possibility of a season 2?
But is the story over, John? Is it?
Is it ever over?
Because we left at a place where I went, okay, but what about blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot you can still do here. And plus you can also kind of work backwards too. We don't have to dive right in for where we left off. We can do a little bit of, okay, let's expand on Jod Denawad and find out more about that Jedi training he had and everything, not just his aside. We can break down some of that information. What happens to Jod now that he's on this planet and his crew is all gone, right? What happens to this entire civilization that has had the rug pulled out from underneath them of, oh, our entire way of living is so different than what we thought it was. Like, yes, all of these adults were aware that they were being ruled over by AI, right? They understood that. But all of the things outside of the galaxy, that is such a shock to the system. I love the description here about how the whole planet goes through the awkward teenager phase. I think this could be a really compelling dynamic and also give the parents here more of an opportunity, like we saw in that final episode of, okay, well, when do you really helicopter your kid and when do you let go of those reins and go, hey, you're actually teaching me something. And I think that can create some really fun dynamics. We still also have Wim really dealing with, hey, my entire view of heroes has been wildly disrupted. What did happen with the Jedi? How did this happen? Once they find out about all the things that have been going on in the galaxy, I think there's so much you can mine from here. I don't want this to be a endless show that they continue doing and doing and doing. I'd like them to take kind of a BBC approach of let's figure out 3 seasons for this show. And that way we can tell this story, wrap up all these other plot holes, and not get into the kids, going off to college or something. I don't want Saved by the Bell, the new class. I want them to stay kids, have some more Goonie adventures, but let's bring the parents and the planet into the mix.
I want
One
a
of the
heavy
new class kids.
You did?
Yeah, high
Which
school.
one?
He was the one who was playing the new Zach. He wore the leather jacket.
Oh, so
yeah.
that he was a bad boy.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
I want a serious issue-oriented episode where Neil loses his virginity and, helping him through that.
Listen, he'd be the first. He got that smooch.
He's got it. So I see the thing I wonder is, how does Ad now integrate into the wider galaxy? What happens with Jah? None of that is really Skeleton Crew. And what made Skeleton Crew, because Skeleton Crew is about these kids going off on this wide-eyed adventure. So I think there's other Star Wars stories you can tell coming out of this. I just wonder if it would be Skeleton Crew.
You can do like an episode that's split up with a little bit of Jod information to help flesh things out.
What if, let me pitch an idea.
Okay.
What if in the midst of Adden finding his place in the galaxy, what if I almost called him Clive Owen. Jude Law.
What if Clyde Owen? What if Clyde Owen? Ooh.
What if Jude Law, who they never catch, seeks out the kids and says, I think I found evidence that my old Jedi Master might still be alive. But I'll never be able to get a ship and get off planet to go out into the galaxy and try to find her or him. I can't remember saying, without your help. And then that becomes the basis of a Skeleton Crew season 2. Do you like that idea, or is that too stretchy?
There's something there, but why would Fern ever trust Jod? Fern would be like, cool, I don't care. You suck. You tried to kill all of us and my mom. Kick rocks.
To be fair, he never tried to kill them.
I mean,
he always threatened
he threatened.
Yeah, he could have killed them many times.
And this would be a point of contention between them. And go, Fern, I never tried to kill you. I just threatened to kill you. And she'd be like, what's the difference, you piece of shit?
See, if that line was in the trailer, what's the difference, you piece of shit?
Yeah.
That would totally sell the show for everybody.
Only they're going to like Star Wars it up. So it'd be like, what's the difference, you poo-doo?
Yeah. So I don't know. So Jod this whole time has thought she was dead and then finds out maybe, I don't know. I'm just grasping at straws here. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? The showrunners for Skeleton Crew say they already got it mapped out what they want to do with a second season, but will they get it? And if they did it, would you want it to kind of stay in the spirit of season 1 where it's about the kids going on some kind of adventure, or would you want the wider story stuff? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.